Yeah.
All right, all right. We are live. Happy Thursday. Good evening, good evening. Get my screens together here. Got Siobhan here with me today.
Hello,
We,
hello.
we are going to have some good conversation.
Mommy, there's an L on your tablet.
Don't worry about move it. All right, let's see. All right, it's live now, Siobhan. You should be able to share it if you can see it there.
Okay, I'm sharing now. Cool.
Hold on. Let me make sure the audience is right because, all right. Now, we should really be live. The audience was not public. I'm not sure why, but we are there now.
Okay.
All right, cool. And now you should be able to share it to your page or anywhere you want it to go.
I'm going to do that now.
All right.
Share it to my timeline. We in there.
We're in there like swimwear. Okay, cool. Well, happy Thursday. I'm so excited to be sharing this Transcend episode, Top 10, how to build and execute an authentically memorable virtual event. This is exciting.
This is exciting.
Because we are in the time of virtual, right? It's like these are super transferable skills. Mm-hmm. These are great opportunities for people to not cower, not fall away from, not, feel completely crushed in their industry, right? Even if you're doing this personally, this might be an opportunity. You've been wanting to have that family get together. You've been wanting to have, whatever your thing is. This is how you can do it, and you can do it virtually. So before we really get into all that, if you are joining us live, please let us know by hashtagging Live Squad. If you catch us on the replay, please do let us know that you are watching the replay. Hashtag us there as well. We want to make sure to acknowledge you. Drop your GIFs, drop your questions, drop your comments, because this is a conversation not just for Siobhan and I, but for you too. So we are grateful to see you all here tonight. All right. So Siobhan and I go back, y'all. Personally, this might be.
I had to mute it.
I was going to say, me too. Me too. I was like, I didn't mute it. So we go back. And, there's a lot of history that I can share, but it's more important that she share what she wants to share with y'all today as far as how she ended up in this space, but some cool highlights that I want to make sure to mention about Siobhan. So, right, she helps talk about the miseducation of virtual events. A lot of people think event planning is just something that they can get up and do.
Right.
And, so you can go forth and be great and do it, when you want, how you want, at the level and the capacity which you can.
Yep.
Right?
Yeah.
We want to make sure that you are equipped and fully empowered when you are doing this. Okay. And then we want to talk about under promising and over delivering. Let me tell you something. I share that sentiment in project management, right? There's always more that you can do, yet you can't always deliver on it within a reasonable time frame. We talk about managing expectations. Absolutely. And a lot of times the dream is so big that you don't achieve it, particularly when, right? So we want to make sure that we talk about that as well. And then what is your title? Not your title, I'm sorry. You're the CEO and event execution expert of Abstract Elements Management Agency, right? How many years in the making now?
This is April will be 8 years.
Oh, man.
Yes.
It's been 8. Wow. That time is flying.
Yes.
That time is flying.
It doesn't even feel like it was just 2 years ago.
Right? Hey, Anand, you for joining us. So good to see you. So you planned and executed events on 5 continents. Continents, people, right? International events planning, successfully pivoted to the virtual space, something that many of us in business are doing or are still striving to do. There are a lot of brick and mortar operations that are like, okay, I guess we have to, like we finally just have to, because we don't know what this COVID thing is going to continue to do.
Right.
And then there are so many other awards, accomplishments, organizations that you have conquered, achieved, received through your event execution, city, state, national, just done so much in this as making it a business, making a career out of it. And I do want you to touch a little bit on how it didn't start out with this as the ultimate vision, right? Some people feel like they choose one path and that they're married to it. And
Right.
well, guess what? You can change your mind. And sometimes your mind gets changed for you. But guess what? A lot of those disappointments are the catalysts, right? That propel you to living your next best experience. So before we get into that, Siobhan, hi, Michonne, how are you? Thank you for joining us. When you hear the word transcend, what comes to mind?
Oh boy. I would say moving into the next phase, moving into another level, elevating. Moving into a space that's unfamiliar, that might be uncomfortable, but when you transcend something, you master the current level that you are, and you kind of elevate to the next. So that's how I would interpret that word.
I love that. I'm taking notes. I'm going to go back and make sure I capture it, because every time somebody answers it, I capture it because it helps me remember the why. It helps me remember why, of all things that you could have named this talk series or this show or this podcast in future, whatever we want to call it, right? Why transcend? And it's about transcend because it's about overcoming life disappointments. It's about starting right where you are right now with what you have and tapping into who you have, so that you can do better. You can choose to be well. You can elevate and excel. Like, you don't have to be stuck. You don't have to be forgotten. You don't have to be negated. You don't have to be your greatest limitation. Right? You can do life in community, and you can do it well. So that is why this is called Transcend. And everyone that comes on this show, male or female, man or woman, has just a story of resilience. Is not just, a gripe session. This is talking about, it's real, that sucks, but this is how I moved through it. This is how I lived beyond it. This is how I am now thriving and not just surviving in life and or in business. So tell us about you, Siobhan, and how you are transcending right now. Where did this all start? Abstract Elements. Tell us about it.
Wow. So thank you for that amazing introduction, Tawana. I started let's just go back. My formal education is on the medical field. I had absolutely no intention on being an event planner. I have to be honest. I worked my butt off to put myself through school, and made it all the way into a doctoral program. And the whole time that I was in school, I was working in the event industry, and have been for many, many years. So it was a transferable skill that I've always had a knack for. I've always loved. My mom said when I was a young child, I was planning people's parties and planning everything and planning her life, as she likes to say. So I'm a logistical thinker since the beginning. But my formal education, like I said, is all in medicine. So once I reached the pinnacle in my medical career, I made a decision that this is not what I wanted to do anymore. And it wasn't, the passion was gone. So I left school, and within 6 weeks of me doing that, I got a job traveling the world planning events. And it was like a light bulb went off. Like, this is my judge. Like, why have I not been doing this all of my life? Like, yes, you're good at this. It's not that you're good at this, you're great at this, and you love what you're doing. Right. So I can remember a time where my cohort in school was taking their boards, and they're like, Siobhan, where are you? Oh, I'm in Japan. Like, conference, it's nothing. Like, it's cool. You guys have fun. I wish I was there. Remember, always pick B. Right. So, it was, that was at a time in my life where I was just like, wow, like, I really could have been stuck in something that I absolutely hated. So again, in a corporate environment, working for Engineering Trade Association, I had an amazing learning experience, but I also had a very piss poor manager who decided that I was way too talented to be in her circle, if you
it
will.
happens.
It happens.
It happens.
So, there's always a reason, right? And
Yeah.
I'm a firm believer that, God will put obstacles and people in your way to force you out of your comfort zone.
Yes.
So at that point, I had already been getting hey, you might need to go ahead and do this yourself. You need to do this yourself. But being scared, not thinking that I had the resources that I needed, I didn't step out on my own.
Yeah.
I was forced to.
Yeah.
And in that, within, I would say, maybe a month after being ejected, I'll say, from my job.
Yeah.
I picked myself up from my bootstraps.
That's right. If you will.
If you will. And with the encouragement of many people who love me and supporting me throughout all of my educational endeavors, everybody was like, you can hands down do this. So I studied abstract elements. The business I've been in business legally for 8 years, but it's been almost 10.
Yeah.
It's been an exciting adventure. One thing that you said earlier is being resilient.
Yes.
That if you ask anybody in my immediate circle, how would you describe Siobhan? And that's one of the things they would say, to the point where I went and got a tattoo of it on my wrist right here. Because that is just something that I wholeheartedly believe in. There's nothing we cannot do. Whenever we put our will, whenever we put our brains, whenever we put our resources to it, we can be resilient through any situation. So going from leaving what I thought I wanted to do to being ejected from a job and then having to start my own business out of necessity, not because I was like, oh, I'm just going to wake up and be an event planner. No, somebody had to hit me on my head and say, hey, this is what you're good at. Stop running from it.
Yeah.
Then make something of it. And that's exactly what I had to do.
I love that. I love that. And I want to revisit a moment where, because I know for me, I've had experiences in my life where it took so much more courage for me to let go of something than it did for me to maintain that thing. So when you left the career decision and the career pathway, I mean, your years invested, lots of money invested into going to school for the medical industry and all that stuff. And then you decided, this is not what I want to spend the rest of my life doing. How much courage did that take to change the trajectory of that journey?
I think I fought myself for months. And I don't even know if I would say it was just courage. It was having the unmitigated gall to say, I don't care what anybody in my family has to say. I don't care what my finances have to say. I don't care what I thought I wanted. I had to retreat from that because at the end of the day, nobody wants to wake up and go to any type of job or into any situation that they are not happy in.
Right.
In a stage in my life where I was just like, I'm too young to be unhappy every single day. I have no reason to keep putting myself through this. So let's find what it is that makes you happy and do that.
And that's not just for jobs, people.
Life, period.
I'll leave that right there.
Yes.
Right? You have choices. You have options, right? Go forth with integrity. Do them well. Do things the right way. Don't just take the easy way out.
Right.
Don't abort mission and family. Yet you don't just have to suffer. Right? Nope. When you change the way you look at things, the things you look at change. So we're not talking about you changing other people. We're talking about you starting with you. All right. So we're going to move on because that can go so many ways. All right. So we fast forwarded to you now you've acquired this opportunity, right? You left school, got hired by this company. You're traveling the world and you're like, I do this. I do this. And then ejected from that company because you do this too good.
Right.
And now you're doing it for yourself. What did that journey look like? Because you're 8 years in the game now. You're 10 years in the game. 8 years in the game, if we talk about the IRS, right? So you're 8 years in the game. What did that journey look like?
A lot of late nights, early mornings, tears, and frustration. I had absolutely no clue how to be an entrepreneur. So growing up, my grandparents owned a business, and I had a couple great aunts and uncles that were entrepreneurs, and I really had to just kind of learn and figure it out. So what it looked like was going to the SBA, going to any and every seminar that I could to learn about things that I needed to know about being a business owner. It wasn't so much about my industry because I had that part down pat, right? But about how do you run a business? What does payroll look like? What does, certifications look like? What exactly am I supposed to be doing? What records am I supposed to be keeping? I had to go out and learn all of that and fail forward. There's never a turnkey solution for every single problem that we, encounter as entrepreneurs. But I will say that there were people that misguided me. There were people that gave me wrong information, that gave me only the information they wanted me to know. And I really had to do some digging to learn the things that I needed to learn until I got involved with a group of people that were like, hey, let us take you under your wing. I didn't have mentorship in the beginning. My first 2 years, let me just figure it out. And we're going to figure it out to keep ourselves afloat.
My first mentor was myself. No.
I guided myself, but it took some time. But then again, like I said, surrounding yourself with people that actually do care about your business. And I joined masterminds. I paid for coaching. I did all of that good stuff in my first.
Talk about self-investment,
honey. The thousands that I have spent in my first couple of years of trying to absorb that knowledge, because it was one of those like, well, I don't have all the capital to pay people to do some of these things. So I need to learn how to do them, master that, and then move on to the next thing.
And so that you can understand. So when you're hiring, you can set forth a standard and level of expectation for them to be achieving, right?
Absolutely.
There's a question in the chat that says, how long did it take you to be how long did it take you to be true to yourself? And did you have a lot of family or friends who tried to talk you out of your entrepreneurial journey?
Ooh, wow. So how long did it take me to be true to myself? I think after I left school and I said, this is what I want to do, there was no turning back. So I would say about 6 to 8 weeks to be true to myself. If that's how you want to put it. I was authentic in my decision and I stuck with it. Yes, I had friends and family that said, you should probably just get a job, because like, how are you going to do this? And it was just like, well, that's not your vision. So one thing that we always have to remember when you're making a pivot in life is that if you believe that you were inspired to do so, like God put it in my spirit about what I was supposed to do. It's not for everybody else to understand. It's not for everybody else to get. It's my assignment. It's my, path in life. I can't expect for everybody to see the path that I'm supposed to be walking down. Either you're going to be on it with me, or you're going to be, alongside me, behind me, or you might not be on this path at all. I had to let go of the opinions of people who were close to me that were not cheerleading me on into the place that the direction I was going. So, to be honest, because there's always going to be people that think that you cannot do it. And being that you are your biggest critic, you have to consistently tell yourself, I can do this, or this is my destiny. And I literally had to get up almost every day and affirm myself, because you can't expect for others to do that for you.
Yeah, that is so true. And, that mindset is a huge thing that we cover a lot in life. Particularly though in business and in entrepreneurship, because like you've expressed, you are getting up, and sometimes multiple times a day, and you are overcoming the naysayer inside of you. Forget the external ones, right? Because you don't owe them anything, but the naysayer inside of you, you're continuously addressing, because that little lizard brain just pops up at the times where you're like, where does this even come from? Like, I wasn't even thinking about that thing. But here it is, the moment I'm getting ready to go forward. It's something. Now here comes all of the little noise that tells me all of the inadequacies, or all of the insufficiencies, or all of the things that are seemingly lacking, when you really don't even need all those things to get moving, What you
Right.
need is the belief,
Right.
right? And the mouth to ask for help, to fill the gaps in the areas that you need. And I know one thing for me, Siobhan, I found that, don't, like you said, don't expect your belief to be followed by everybody. And
Right.
then even knowing who your customers are and who they are not. So you have silent supporters, and you have your loud supporters. And it doesn't mean that one is greater than the other. There are people who are morally supportive to me that may not ever be a customer
Right.
of what I do. But
Right.
that moral support is so significant. And then there are people who are actual customers, right? That pay into the business financially, or that gift to the business financially, that is so integral and so important. And then you have the ambassadors, right? That are just want to see you shine. Like, I just love what you're doing. Everybody has an opportunity. And you've got to know, as the entrepreneur, you've got to know who they are, so that
Right.
you don't disappoint yourself along the journey. Because when you're expecting something from people where it's not appropriate, where it's not fit, and where they haven't said that they wanted to commit, you're setting yourself up for disappointment.
Exactly.
So I think you have expressed that super well.
Thank you.
Super well. You're welcome, Adanya, Mishan. Yes, sail forward, and another phrase is fail forward, right? Because a lot of times people don't leap or launch or go towards what they have thought of, is because they are afraid to fall short, or afraid to not match up, or afraid of what people might think or say, or how odd it is, or the uncertainty that may come with it. And in business, in life, there are times where you just make the decision because you believe in yourself, like Siobhan has expressed. So now that you have believed in yourself, and your blood, sweat, tears, right? You paid for it, you learned it, you earned it, you deliver it.
All of it.
Now what? We are at the position now where you are, again, international events and shifting to that virtual space while doing it. How can people make an opportunity with this? Not just professionally, but, as a human. Like, if you have been distant from family, holidays are coming up, and you want to get connected, how can we create this authentically memorable virtual event? Like, what are some factors that we need to consider when we're planning it?
Wow, that's a loaded question. So we're talking about family. Let's start with the family aspect, okay?
Does it matter?
It doesn't matter, but I guess if you're planning something for business versus planning something for just a family gathering, there's a little bit of a tweak, a little bit of a workaround you can always do. But I think it's very important that whether you're planning for business or pleasure, you want to make sure that you know who your audience is, you know what they're capable of. So, for instance, and I'm going to use this as an example, for our older generation, they may not be very pressed on understanding how to use Zoom or how to use the camera on their cell phones or on their computers. So if you're going to do a family gathering, you have to make sure that those who are not technologically able, is what I like to call it, or savvy, have assistance. If that means that you have to send out directions and a video link and that shows people how to log into your technology, you should do that, because we have a lot of our elderly that are being left out during this holiday season, or just period, have been left out during this whole COVID period, because of the fact that they just don't have the means or the understanding of how to use the technology that our generation has grown up with.
Yeah.
So that's the first thing I would say.
Okay.
Secondly, I would suggest that you come up with things that will allow people to interact. That not going to just be we're just gonna play two truths and a lie. Not that that's a bad game, but it's more so come up with questions, come up with games or interactive activities, even if you have to mail a box to your loved one, or mail or email them some activities that they can print out at their house, their home, that we can all do together while we're on camera. It's a sense of oneness. There is a whole bunch of apps that have come out with different games and different things you can do in these virtual platforms, on Facebook, on Zoom, on Instagram, or whatever the apps are that you want to utilize, that you can create that environment of oneness. People need to feel connected, and especially during the holiday season when so many people are separated from their families, and are in a space where I can't even go visit my great aunt or uncle because I don't want them to, even be exposed to anything because they're frail or they're fragile or whatever it may be. You want to create an environment of inclusion, because people are going to suffer, are going to feel down, because this is the one time of the year, usually in the American culture, that we all get together, and we're not doing that this year. So be mindful of that. Create activities that will spark inclusiveness and oneness. And then lastly, follow up. Follow up at the end of the day. We've sat down, we've had our dinner, we've had our wine, we've had our desserts, and everybody's laughing and watching movies or whatever. That next day, follow up with your family, follow up with your friends, make sure that everybody is good. Because yes, it is just a day, but for some people, this was the only day that they had to look forward to. Stay in touch. Now, if we had to flip this to the business, right?
Right.
Again, it's important to know your audience. You have to know who you're talking to, what they're looking for, what they are into, what exactly do you want to deliver to them. Creating value, I would say, would be the second step, Tawana, because what value is your event bringing to the marketplace, to the right now? There are so many people doing lives. There are so many people doing conferences. Like, you can literally go on Eventbrite and pick out any type of event that you want to see, and it's going to be online. So what content are you presenting to your audience, right? That's going to bring them actual value.
Yeah.
And then the last thing I would say is that you need to create something that is going to be super duper different. One reason why I started Abstract Elements and I named it Abstract Elements is because we don't do anything that's cookie cutter. Everything is done outside of the box in an innovative style. You want to create an experience that people will never forget. There's always one, like you always hear the phrase that your first impression is pretty much your last impression. Your very first impression, your best. So with that, in respect, your event needs to not only touch that person, every person needs to touch them in one way.
Yeah.
It's physically, mentally, emotionally, or financially. You want to stimulate people where they need to be stimulated. So you think about which domains. How do I want to reach people? How do I want to make people feel when they come to my event? Yes, we're not all in the same room, right? So it's hard. You're not going to smell the candles or smell the flowers that are on the table, or feel the ambiance. That moment virtually. You have to think outside the box in that way.
That is so good. Hope y'all grab those nuggets, those gems that were just dropped twofold. Family function, business function. Okay. There is a difference in the focus. The results that you want to achieve. It's your dad. You can get the FaceTime. Yeah, there's a difference in the results that you want to achieve based on what you are doing.
Yes.
All right. Hybrid living here. We're working and we're parenting.
Parenting break. It's all good.
So if you had to wrap all this up, right, in one nice package, what would be your message?
When it comes to events, I would say know your why. She's so cute. Know your why, and then explore your how. Say that in a sense of, people come to us all the time or come to Abstract Elements and say, hey, I just want to do this event. And the first thing we ask them is, okay, well, what's the purpose? What's the mission? What's the vision? What do you want to do? Well, I just want to make money. Oh, okay.
That's it.
Why? What are some of the, like, who are you trying to reach? Like, there's a whole gamut of questions that we usually go through in a consultation. And, I will implore any business owner or anybody who's willing and looking to step out and do virtual or hybrid, what we would call a hybrid event, that you need to know your why. And what is the purpose for you doing this? This is an investment for you and for your brand. So there has to be a purpose. Secondarily, we don't skip to the how. You don't do that first. It's like, well, I'm just going to go rent a venue, or I'm going to go get a camera crew. I'm going to do this. You're going to rent all this, but you have nothing set in stone. You don't have your cornerstones laid to build the foundation of what you're trying to do. So I say explore your how, because there are many different ways to skin a cat. So we're talking,
and no cats were harmed in the making of this message.
Right. Well, or what would be another good one? There's several different ways to eat an elephant. How many,
it's just there's just more than one way.
There's more than one way to go. Always. So that exploring your how means looking at your budget, looking at what's realistic as far as your resources around you, how you execute this, and it can be exactly what you dreamed of it to being versus it being something that you were not proud of. Brand is important, and your messaging could be just as important, and the outcome of your event, hopefully if you have your why figured out, then the outcome will give you the what. So that's what I would, if I had to tie it up with a bow, that's what I would say.
I love that. I think that's a wonderful summation of everything that you've shared, what you have demonstrated, and who you are as a professional, as a woman, as a sister, as a friend, as an auntie, all that good stuff. Because I know all those sides of it, and we got another position that we are praying for you to get. Yeah, you do life so well, and you treat others so well, and you have absolutely been more than a blessing to me, and I'm grateful to know you, grateful to do life with you, and grateful to take this journey of entrepreneurship with you. So it has been a blessing. Please tell the people how they can find you, how they can connect with you, so that they can up-level their virtual event experience.
Absolutely. Connect with us on Abstract Elements Events on Instagram. And that's Abstract Elements with an S Events on Instagram, as well as on LinkedIn. Connect with us there. Our website is abstractelementsevents.com as well. Would love to hear from you. We have a mailing list, so join our mailing list. You can find that on Instagram, and we will keep in touch with you about what we have going on at upcoming events and how we can serve and be of service to you and your events. And Tawana, thank you so much for having me on here tonight. And I love everything that you're doing. And as always, we are in community together when it comes to this, and I'm grateful to do life with you as well.
Thank you so much. So you heard it, people. And after the live, Siobhan is going to drop her links so that you can have direct access to it in case you need a point of reference. Make sure to connect with her on Instagram, LinkedIn, websites, email, all the places that you perceive as a benefit, okay? Next week, we will have a live, but it won't be Thursday. It will be Tuesday. And here's why you don't want to miss it. We're going to be talking about grief. We're going to be talking about grief and transcending beyond grief, especially through the holidays. We are coming up in a time where things are bubbling. It has been a difficult year. Many lives have been lost, COVID and other reasons, right? And so we really don't want to miss the opportunity to enlighten, to encourage, and to uplift, and to give people and the culture, particularly, core methods of how to battle the cycle of anxiety and how to cope with loss and grief and how to just choose to be well while you're doing it. So please join us next Tuesday, 7 p.m. right here on Facebook. We will have an amazing panel that has some really deep personal experiences. So this won't be hypothetical, right? This won't be theory talking. This will be a licensed practitioner and some very personal experiences that people will be sharing and will be encouraging you on how you can get through any grief you have experienced or maybe grief to come as we wrap up this year. Thank you all so much for joining us on Bootstrap Dreams. For all of my women in business, whether you are an entrepreneur or one aspiring, please feel free to join us in results-driven strategies for creatives and entrepreneurs. We are the community over competition group. There's a lot of Facebook groups out there, but let me tell you something. The women in our group want you to win, and we are doing everything possible to help you get there. So please join us in the Facebook group, and we look forward to seeing you next week, Tuesday, 7 p.m. Overcoming grief through the holidays. Bye-bye, everybody.
Bye.